we're back on the show. Talking Sunderland and everything you know. Conrad's got the numbers, proper stats machine. Mike's optimistic, living out the Mackems dream. Ours keeps it steady, cool and level-headed. Wayne's already moaning, man, I'm shattered, I need my bed. Baby, are you ready to go? Let's get carried away, man, let's steal the show. Midweek Mackems every Wednesday night. Veterans, passion in the red and white.
Sorry, lads, mind this gap.
Well done.
Wait, are they actually going to beat or something, are they?
I don't know, I've not checked.
It's 0-0. I've got the score in front of us. Can we just have Amad Diallo feeding Benjamin Sesko? And since Sesko, who rejected them for Man United last summer, scores at St. James's. That'd be brilliant.
We're not here to talk about United and them up the road. Believe it or not, we're here to talk about
the visitors.
And we've had 2 games since we've done this. So we've got to go first to a VAR wet dream that was the Bournemouth game. So on
Jerry
paper,
Gillett wet dream, more like.
on paper, yet again, Conrad, it looks like we got hammered with their 19 shots to our 7 and stuff like this. But how was the game? What was your take on the Bournemouth game?
Well, before I start, how are you, Mike? You all right?
I'm good. I'm good.
Forgot that.
Yeah.
Where's the night things? What's happened?
No, we get straight into it because you want to go to bed early and we got 2 games to get through.
All right.
Visitors are down to 10 men, just in case anyone wanted to know.
Yes.
Are they seriously?
But,
Oh, bloody hell.
yeah, it just came up. Yeah, anyway.
Straight red, and they could have been out for the derby. Oh, never mind.
It was just the game on, was it Saturday for the Bournemouth one? I'm actually glad I didn't get to watch it because I know you were doing a stream for it there and I was out on childcare duties. But when I was reading the stuff coming through on my phone and then checking Twitter for it, I was just like, I am so glad I'm not watching this game because I, by the sounds of it, cannot stand what I'm hearing, let alone if I actually had to watch it. And then I saw the replays of the penalty that wasn't, and then the free kick he gave 30 seconds later for the same thing. Then I saw them say, oh, that's a foul on the Bournemouth player while we just crock your ankle there, Xhaka. Oh, but he was pushed. Well, who is pushed and lifts their legs forward? Like, please answer me that question. Who's pushed on the shoulder and their legs come up? Doesn't happen. And then the one potential handball, I'm a bit like,
It's like a wrestling figure for the 90s. You push them on the back and...
Yeah, exactly. Just honestly. So I'm quite glad I didn't actually get to watch it and I got to see the highlights because they were torture enough at that moment.
Well, shall I just say very quickly, Conrad, Wayne, how are you doing? Because I have a feeling we're going to want to get into the referees very quickly.
I'm all right for now till we start talking about a certain Australian referee.
Yeah, referees, and then last night definitely made up for it, but I'm sure there'll be some boiling Leeds fans somewhere. Wayne, you might know one, actually.
Just so the people in the chat don't think I'm an arsehole, I said hello to all of these guys off the screen before we started, you know. He
didn't. He just came on and went, let's get this shit over with.
Can I just ask Wayne a question? You know that Leeds fan you do the show with? Am I right in thinking he said 4-0 for last night?
3 or 4, and then it was his prediction. Yes, it was.
Can he predict our games for the rest of the season if he's going to be like that?
This is a man who also didn't put Xhaka in a combined 11, though. Like, we have to take that into consideration.
I will give Leeds this, man. One area I will, even though last night didn't show it, I actually think they've got the best striker out of the promoted clubs. Calvert-Lewin.
You think?
Even though they haven't played to his strength, I think I like Brian Brobby and everything, but yeah, sorry. But glad to hear you are doing all right, and obviously I'm doing all right. I am on about probably 5 hours sleep, and I've just been drinking lots of caffeine today. I was going to say cocaine for some reason there, but that's not quite right.
Welcome to the Michael Bauer Show.
Mike, I'm not
demonetized.
but I'm not that high, man. Come on. But yeah, I mean, honestly, the trip last night was funny because we left the game about about 10. I think I did my video, and we were walking back about 10 o'clock to the station. The train got bloody cancelled when we got there, so we had to get like another train from Leeds to York, and then York back to the visitors. So got back an hour a bit later than I thought, but obviously when you get in, you can't just go straight to bed. Well, unless you win. I have to wind down a little bit. I've been obviously went to work out today, so I've had about 5 hours sleep. So I'm going to have a good snooze tonight. But yeah, I'm glad to hear you lads are doing all right.
Right.
Bournemouth.
I know I'm terrible at my job. Thanks, Michael. It's fine.
You're welcome.
Bournemouth game, Michael. Come on.
Right. I'll start with Sunderland's performance actually and take it out of the way because the main talking point is going to be about VAR. I thought in general, VAR and a certain Australian referee likes to be the star of the show. I thought Sunderland were very good. I thought for a lot of the game, I thought we played really good stuff. And you got to remember that Bournemouth are not a bad team at all. I said this before we played them at the Stadium of Light. I think a lot of people confuse this is Bournemouth club size as opposed to the team they've actually got, which is good. And even though Ariola's a whiny little bastard, he's actually a very good head coach. I mean, what is it? Evan Nielsen they've got, Marcus Tavernier, they've got that Ryan who they signed, they've got Alex Scott. Is Lewis Cook? I think it is. They've still got. I think it's
the elbow man himself.
Sorry.
The elbow man himself from the other game.
Well, yeah, true. Tyler Adams
and
and Cotwell, who should have been sent off, in my opinion. But regardless of that, they've got some good players. And I thought, I don't know what you lads think, I thought for the first 15 or so minutes, I thought Sunderland dominated. And I felt like when we scored after the penalty that we should have got, maybe that riled the players up even further because I thought we deserved the lead when we got it. And then I think obviously Bournemouth had a spell about maybe for the rest of the first half where Roofs had to make a couple of key saves, including one which apparently caused his hamstring injury. Please be back for the derby. But either way,
I thought he got it stretching out or something in training.
Well, put it this way. Well, apparently that was according to what Phil Smith said, so you can blame him if that's wrong.
Okay. I'll go with.
Yeah, but and then the second half, to be honest, I mean, I felt across the whole game a draw was about right. If you take out all the controversy and the decisions, I felt Bournemouth created enough to warrant getting a point. Obviously, Sunderland had that big chance, didn't they? The Habib Diarra one, the start of the second half, where you put that in, it's a different story. But it's the story of the Premier League. You get punished if you don't take your chances. So, but yeah, in the end, I think it was a very solid point, especially considering we were against 12 men for most of it.
Yeah. Wayne, lineup, obviously, Brobbey's not in. Meander getting a start, proving the reason why he gets a start, though, as well. Do you think he did enough? Is it just a right place, right time off that deflection, or?
Well, you've got to be there to put them in, haven't you? I did see it in before the game and in my preview video. I thought Meander would get the nod before Isidore anyway. Isidore, I've spoke about him for weeks. He's not the same player. Something's not right. He's out of sorts. He's took his toys out the pram. He'll be gone in the summer, I think, and that's probably why Meander got to start. And Meander, totally different player to Brobbey, gives us a bit of energy. I thought we were looking a bit quicker on the attack on Saturday. Got forward a lot quicker than what we do when Brobbey's in the side. And obviously Diarra gets the shot and he's there to put the rebound in. He didn't do a great deal after that, to be fair. But like all strikers, we didn't get them in the game, but he gets the goal and he's there to knock it in. So I'm pleased he did start him. I'm not sure if Wilson would have been there to knock that in if a chance comes his way. So
I said on my stream it was a very Darren Bent-esque goal, poacher's goal.
Well, that's where strikers have got to be, aren't they? For them type of goals, that's what strikers do. That's where they should be.
Yeah. Obviously, Xhaka was on, but he came off on that one, didn't he? And we saw the return of Traore. That was his first one back. Was that right?
Yes, I believe it
Bournemouth,
was.
Yeah,
a few minutes.
Yeah, that was his first one.
Didn't he
coming
get
back
injured
in
during AFCON, I think it was? So his last appearance for us was in the derby. And then
was
when AFCON got injured, we haven't
ago.
seen him since.
Yeah. What do you think, Conrad? Have you seen him come back? Did he look back on form, or is it going to be a while yet? I always worry with us because our injured players never come back quite the same at the moment.
But he's
well, if anything's to go by
United's
in
equalised.
the game, yeah. If
I've just
anything's
literally seen that
to go
Newcastle
by-
were winning 1-0 actually. So, but yeah,
they're not called Newcastle; they're called visitors.
Saudi Arabia, sorry.
Yeah, he's looks like he's going to be out again at this point. So he wasn't fully back from whatever it was because he didn't get involved in a challenge or anything, or look like he fell at innocuously last night. So looks like a reoccurring issue again for Traore, which is a shame because we all quite like him. When he first came in, we all went, "Who is this donkey? Who is he?
Yeah.
He can't kick a ball, a few air kicks here and there." And then actually we start to go, "Do Jesus, he doesn't half defensively help out. And oh my God, actually, he's just really subtly in the right place where he's meant to be every single time. And we all started to go, actually, this is quality. This is like consistency, this. And then obviously AFCON, and then we've lost him since. And now we've got loads of wingers that we're just going to swap each week, and no one's going to actually get a consistent run at something unless they do an absolute madness and score like one or two per game.
Start bagging goals per game,
and you can't drop them, you know.
But I mean, Talby's bagged goals. Yeah.
Well, Talby scored against Burnley and had a great game against Burnley, and then was out the team in the next few games, and it was like done well there. Like,
strange one with Talby. I think he's done outrank, to be fair. He had scored a great goal against Burnley. He had a decent game against Arsenal, and then he's been hooked and never been seen since. And I came on Saturday, which on that right hand side, I thought he struggled a little bit on Saturday for the game, but he still, for me, he still is the one who.
He's not right hand side for me.
No, he's not. I'm trying to shoehorn him in there, but he does graft. I'll give him that. He does graft, but
he does.
Do you think Ramadan has something to do with it? That maybe he doesn't have the energy now with Ramadan to play a full game.
Possibly, could be that.
Granted, I think
that would make sense that he starts. But that would make sense that he started against Bournemouth because the game was an early kickoff, and then brought off later on in the game potentially. Because I know we mentioned it last time as well, and then. You know, you go on to last night's game and you go all the way through the day without having anything, and it just goes dark just as you're about to start playing. You know, Leeds fans were booing the players who broke their fast the other day, so they probably didn't want that. So, it was probably just. I know we didn't need him in the end last night. Really, it was actually not the game for him really, because he doesn't throw himself into 50-50s. But Bournemouth.
There's not much to say on Bournemouth. It was 1-1 in the end, and I want to skirt over it.
Because you want to talk about the win.
Can we not slate the ref anymore?
Talk about the refs. Let's
go
about the refs.
Go on then. I want to hear nothing but positive, good comments about the referee. Wayne, go.
I'm positive he was shite. That's what I'm positive on. But we know that he's a. We've got history. He was the one sent Dan Neil off money against Middlesbrough last season. Knew before the game we were going to have issues, and he makes the game about himself, like Michael said earlier on. And honestly, absolute disgrace. The penalty, how he doesn't give the penalty in the first place, and then VAR deem that as normal contact. Like, the game's fucked. And the game's getting ruined by these decisions because that guns in again. It's a different game. Just watching totally different games to us. The Xhaka, it's a red card. All day it's a red card. And then their goal is a blatant handball. Hit his head, rolls down his arm. It's like it's by the rules, it's not a goal, but no, because it's so it's fine. Just give it.
I thought we'd seen the last of these terrible decisions now that we've got VAR though.
No,
yeah, but you still put idiots in charge of watching it to make the decision.
That's it. The people who are watching it are an absolute joke. These VAR, like, just shocking. How can you see when it's slowed down? It looks worse than that wasn't in normal time. He barges and elbows him in the back. Like, what's normal contact about that? It's one of the most stonewall penalties you'll ever see. I mean, what normal contact? Wow.
And it's not like Jared Gillett is like quite far out. It's right in front of him. He's literally got a clear view right in front of him. And apparently, it was the most blatant shoulder barge when Lafay's about to have a shot at goal. Nah, wave it off. Like, completely and utterly wave it off. And
do you know what makes it worse? What makes it worse is about 2 minutes later, there's a free kick for this less contact that he blows before Trey Hughes even fell out.
I think.
Aye? It's ridiculous. Absolutely crazy. If something that's outside the box, the blow up straight away inside the box is like, oh no, we can't be giving.
Can I just add something here, right? The only area that I would maybe slightly disagree with Wayne is that I actually didn't have much of a problem with Bournemouth's goal standing, because the problem is, you don't know what the bloody rules are these days. There's no definitive way of determining what the rules are because everyone's got a different interpretation of the rule. If you compare, I think for me personally, the ball goes off Evan Nielsen's shoulder first, and to me, that isn't handball. Now, I mean, unless I'm mistaken, I haven't watched the game back since really. But I remember it goes down here, and to me, that's judged to be not handball. And even watching it when they were making the decision, I thought that was going to stand. Maybe I'm in a minority on that, but if other people feel that would be wrong, I wouldn't blame them for it. But if you compare that though to the one. If you remember the Burnley-Brentford game, everyone's probably seen it. The Ashley Barnes one, right at the very end. Now, the difference is we can feel aggrieved because, but at least we look like we're going to stay in this division. Imagine, okay, I know maybe it won't happen this way, but imagine if Burnley went down by 1 point at the end of the season, and you're going back to that decision.
Good.
Well, minus 24 points and all that. But the point was going to be like, how can that Ashley Barnes one be ruled out, but the Evan Nielsen one isn't? Like that to me just doesn't make sense. And the penalty and the red card decisions, I think, were laughable. The penalty one, I've already mentioned that one. I literally don't get how the Tyler Adams tackle on Xhaka is not a dangerous tackle. It's aiming near his Achilles, or at least close enough to the bottom end of his leg. It could have potentially been a leg breaker, worst case scenario. And yet he gets a free kick after getting a yellow card. Which
and he's got a history. Adams has got a history of that kind of tackle. I think it was last season, he should have been sent off against Man United for the exact same thing. The ball had gone over the top of the ball, stamping down. He does it all the time. He's just
Jared Gillett in charge of that game as well.
Probably.
Is it funny that we're getting told off for not talking about football, and now he's asking us to talk about football?
Well, I just wanted to say, because on the referees, yes, it was a penalty. Yes, it was a red card. Me and Wayne do Finalysis, which came up, which lets you rank the referees now. So just to put into context, that's based on an average of 100 is the top score. Bournemouth fans on average rated him 45 and Sunderland fans on average rated him 10. And then the other memes from it were, so Sunderland were robbed of a penalty for a blatant push in the back. This referee has since given multiple free kicks for checks notes the exact same foul.
Which Xhaka stood up and told him. Said, it's the same as that over there. I
love these memes and everything else.
Exactly. Also, 2 weeks ago, they gave a straight red card for the exact same foul when Romero did it on Casemiro. And then there was Bournemouth channel here going, basically saying ref was abysmal. Even they understood that this was absolutely honking. Because, where is it? I've got it here a second. So I don't understand how you can't.
Not a penalty?
No. I don't understand how you started to
understand how that wasn't given. I really don't.
No.
And the thing is, what Jared Gillett, the thing that annoys me is I've hated this prick ever since he sent Dan Neil off for daring to use the F word towards him. Bearing in mind in the exact same game, Borough players were doing a lot of dissent, nothing given towards them. So ever since then, I hold them to that standard. All right then, every single time someone swears at you, give them a yellow card. Doesn't matter if you book them or not. So, but of course he won't ever bother doing it. But the only thing I will praise for Sunderland, I'm actually surprised we were allowed to get a point out of that game. Because another thing I want to bring up before we move on to Leeds, I know people probably want to talk about that. How on earth? So we gave 8 minutes added on. Fair enough. I have no problem with the initial 8 minutes. Then obviously there was a stoppages at the start of that. So I'm like, okay, it might go to 9 or 10. Fair enough. Then 11 minutes, still playing. 12th minute, still playing. 13th minute, still playing. And I was, not that you can bloody hear us, but I was screaming at the TV going, are you going to blow, mate? And it literally felt like, the Fergie time stuff when everyone used to go, referees would just keep playing until Man United score. That's how it felt on Saturday. I think Jared Gillett, maybe I'm being a conspiracy theorist here, but I felt Jared Gillett was wanting Bournemouth to score so badly. And I don't like to, and I don't want to do that really, because I don't like to, although I do hammer refs quite a lot, I try to at least feel they have some level of integrity. With this guy, it's really difficult to feel that way because it's not the first time we've been really done over. And by the end, I think Sunderland deserve a lot of credit for hanging on for a point.
Yeah, the frustrating thing for me is, right, the way the game's gone, and it's all, in the the public eye, and the Sky's got all these cameras and that everywhere, yet the referees are never ever made to come out and explain the decisions. They get away with scot-free. They never ever get interviewed. Nout. So they just protect.
I'm sure they do get assessed by independent, a referee's board.
The next week they referee a division lower, and that's all that happens.
To the championship one week, and then it'll just be a pat on the. It'll be a pat on the back, really. It'll be like, what is it? A slap on the wrist, and just go right. No. Down the championship, right? You're back in the Prem again.
I bet it's a massive wage. I bet it's a massive wage cut for them as refs, though.
Yes, they might get a slap on the wrist, get demoted for a game. But like you've just been saying there, if it's like a Burnley get relegated by 1 goal, the financial implications that one decision's cost everybody is massive.
Yeah.
But that's the thing, just for me, that's why although I always agree with the assessment that referees are never at fault for ultimately never at fault for the result. That's on the team's performance, and I've always stood by that. But this conversation highlights why I keep getting sick of the argument about how you can't, that referees, or the implications that people implying refs can't be criticised. Because to me, that's bullshit. Why are referees held to a different standard to players, to anyone in their professional jobs? Yes, don't abuse them. That is wrong. That is plain wrong. They're human, yes. But my God, why is it always a crime to criticise and point out, I thought the referee had a stinker? And spoiler, I didn't think the referee last night was any good, if I'm totally honest. So just to prove that it isn't bitterness, we've got 4 points in these 2 games, and I still think the referee in both games were terrible.
Exactly.
Hello, everyone, who's kindly decided to come and watch. But yeah, just quickly, finally on Bournemouth, I think the fact that Sunderland managed to hold their nerve, because those players, you could tell how frustrated our players were getting towards the end, that the game was still playing, and everything that had gone against them, and I mean almost everything, all the big decisions. The only one I could maybe argue we possibly got away with, for the sake of balance, was the elbow from Roofs on, I can't remember who it was, but it was in towards the end of the game.
Yeah.
Maybe there's a possibility we got away with that for the sake of balance, but generally, sorry, Conrad, but I'm saying I feel like most of the major decisions, big ones, went against us wrongly.
Yeah, that was Krupi. Krupi robbed him of the ball, and 6-1. They both pulled each other, but Roofs probably was worse for it. But yeah, he let that one go as well. I don't know if he suddenly thought, shit, I should have given them a penalty and a red card. I can't send off a Sunderland player now. It's too obvious at that point.
You sound like Mick McCarthy there. I can't send him off. I can.
Okay.
No, I can't.
Yeah, but that's it. But just to be fair towards Bournemouth, when Bournemouth played well, they looked good, and they've done that a couple of times we played against them. So I think, honestly, that I personally, I don't want you guys to. I still think that's a really good point, especially all things considered.
It's a massive point.
I feel like every game we go into now, we're saying, "Oh, the ref's even worse." It's getting worse every single time.
Well, it is. Like Pawson, Gillett, and Atwell, the 3 of them, there's not a good ref between them.
So we're saying Pawson, twat it, I don't know, and see you next Tuesday. Well, I don't know. We'll call him that.
That works. We'll have that.
Yeah, we'll just call them all that.
Leeds. Let's go on to Leeds. We've slated the ref. It was 1-1. It was still a draw away from home. Happy with the point at that stage. Yeah. I'm sure we all were happy with the point, travelling all the way down there. With our current away form, it was a good point to get. So then
I was really happy because I said 1-1. Sorry to interrupt you. So I moved it above you in the leaderboard, Mike, for the first time.
I said 1-1, but I said it for Leeds. Damn, never mind.
I think we decided to scrap that leaderboard. I think we decided to stop doing the predictions. I'm sure we said that.
Yeah. But I'm sure Mike really wants to get on to talking about a win and how he thinks we're going to go in for Europe again. So let's go for it.
Of course. Doesn't think he knows. I'm just happy to open up that gap further. Yes, Leeds. So,
United.
First off, before we get into the game, the lineups. I mean, I don't know if you guys were the same as me, but when I saw the lineups, an 09 starting and Xhaka on the bench again, obviously sudden big misses, Roofs not being on there. It felt like a cup game. I felt like I looked at a cup game lineup when we were going to play Oxford or something like that.
That's appropriate considering we play a cup game at the weekend.
Yeah, but that's what it felt like. Wayne, what was your take when you saw that squad?
Well, you think it's going to be a long night, didn't you? You think. I mean, Xhaka was the big one. I was hoping he was fit. And obviously, he came off against Bournemouth, and I thought maybe a precaution. But then when he's not playing, but then Regis Breeze's interview before the game said that was always the plan. Apparently, that he wasn't ready to play 2 games in quick succession. So kind of manage your minutes, which is sensible. But in a big game against Leeds, when you haven't got, you're missing your left back, you're missing Nori Mukiele, you're missing your goalkeeper, you're then missing Xhaka, you're thinking, this is going to be a tough game against them who, we know the stats before the game. The underlights down there, they're a tough team to play against. They're
very passionate fan base, very passionate crowd as well, to be fair.
They are, they start fast, they come at you hard, and you think, if they get an early goal, it could be a long night. But that was my initial thoughts. Angulo back in the side as well, came back in, didn't he? So,
can I say quickly, I thought 09 was excellent last night.
Well, 09's player, he had 3 starts and
But did you stop shitting your pants at any point during that 90 minutes? 09 plus VAR.
Generally, right, I can't remember his full. Oh, well, I was going to say wing back because they play with a back 5, don't they? But I can't remember his man getting the better of him more times. Maybe once or twice, but generally I thought he had the better of, was it Goodmanson who probably provided their whip down that side?
Goodmanson ran off him a few times at the beginning.
Generally, I thought he dealt with him really well, though.
But he should have given a penalty away. For me, it was a Stonewall penalty.
Yeah, and again, for the sake of balance, I don't. This is the problem with VAR. So to prove that I'm not just doing it, but like against Sunderland, like how did VAR not look at that and give a penalty? I'm glad they didn't. After the weekend, I think it's fair enough. But 2 wrongs don't make a right. How are VAR not interfering with decisions like that?
Yeah,
I feel like it's old school. If you pressure the referee to call for VAR, it happens. And I don't.
Do you know, to be fair, you know, you just mentioned that, right? Do any of you know a Leeds YouTuber called Conor McGilligan?
Yeah.
He mentioned that on his live stream for that he feels Leeds don't do that enough. And it's funny you mentioned that because it's exactly the same thing. If you remember in the lower leagues, we never did that. We never, even when we were desperate to win games to go up or in the championship, whatever, we used to get to a point where we were too nice. We never surrounded the referees. And don't get me wrong, I don't particularly like it when we do it. I don't like when anybody does it. But no one else is going to care about that. You've got to go and do it in order to get a result. And that's probably, to some degree, what probably got us the penalty we got. But yeah, Leeds didn't do that. And I was quite baffled, really, behind that, especially considering how passionate Leeds' fan base is. I thought the players would be sort of feeding off that.
Yeah. What was your thoughts on the lineup, Conrad, when you saw the team sheet?
I thought, shit, we're getting beat.
It's true. Elbog's that unknown factor, though, right, to all of us.
Yeah. He was the one I was sort of more confident on because I knew we'd signed him as a profile player. Of he comes out and catches things like Roos does. He comes off his line quickly. So I was a bit like, well, he was meant to be here if Roos goes. So I was a bit like, I trusted it more than if Simon Moore was suddenly in the lineup. And I'm like, oh God, what are we doing now? Because he's not going to come out and claim things like Roofs does. He doesn't play with the ball at his feet like Roofs does. So I was a bit more confident. And then I was watching it with the Leeds fan, and he said, "Why is 09 not in the middle as a midfielder? And Gutredo, who's a right back, is not at right back." And I had to sit there and go, right. Luke 09 has not been a midfielder since about a few weeks after we signed him. He's been everywhere else apart from really central midfield. And if you're asking him to dictate a game like Xhaka or Gutredo was meant to do, it ain't going to happen. Like he is, you know, like when on Football Manager or FIFA, when you have midfielders and you can give them like traits to make them an attacking player or traits to make them. Luke 09 is the most centre mid of a centre mid I've ever seen in my life. Like, I'm not going forward, I'm not going back, I am a centre mid.
He makes some good runs.
That's it.
From defense.
Exactly. But like he's not a specialist in anything, is he? He's just out there. But yeah, at right back, at centre back, I can say actually he does specialise in this, he does that. And considering the last 4 years for us, he's been a defender. It was like, well, he's going to be at fullback for this game, isn't he? With Ballard next to him, we just sort of potentially taken last year's centre back partnership, and just moved it over slightly. Yeah, exactly. And then Gutredo, I for weeks we've been desperate to see him in the 6, especially as me, and I genuinely thought the game passed him by. Really, yesterday he didn't really get involved,
and he gives 2 stupid free kicks away and all. I thought he really struggled last night in there.
Yeah,
he did. Yeah, it wasn't his best one. And then when he got hooked for Xhaka, I think that was always, like you said, the plan for Regis to bring Xhaka on later on, which I thought was really interesting. We put him on, and I went, "You watch us now. We'll get more control in this midfield." And then they took a midfielder off for Leeds and put a striker on, and I went, "You've just made it easier for us at this point now because we've got more space in the midfield. The defense is fine." Dealing with your 1 or dealing with your 3 or dealing with your 2, you've actually given us more chance to hold on to the ball here, which is exactly what happened. And we started to get a bit more forward with it when Xhaka came on, and they freed up all that space. But in terms of the initial lineup, I was glad Wilson wasn't starting, but I did think, shit, this is not going to go well. And after 5 minutes of watching the game, I was going, right, ref time. That's it. Let's go home. 0-0's good.
0-0. We'll take a point. We'll take a point.
I think, to be fair, in the first half, we Leeds did. I don't think Leeds created. I'm trying to remember a really clear-cut chance. Actually, there was one clear-cut chance I remember Leeds having, and it came from Alderete giving the ball away in his own final third.
Again.
Which was, and I can't remember. I know Calvert-Lewin pressed him. I can't remember who he passed to. It might have been Brendan Aronson. Someone might want to correct me on it. But it was the one when he was in a good position
got it
to
in
shoot.
the end.
Was it the one where he was in a good position to shoot and somehow scuffs it and it goes out for a throw-in? Bogle, that was it. So, like, we did get fortunate there. But other than that, I felt Sunderland contained Leeds well enough, but I felt we offered next to nothing going forward.
I read it and I was like, oh, it's so true.
Oh yeah. Oh, I'm not.
That's his new chin piercing.
It's like when you get Christmas decorations to clip into your beard and that. Yeah.
But you know what, right? I think, for first half going forward, we offered next to nothing, in my opinion. Then the only effort I remember us having was Mayenda forcing Darlow into a save, and even then he was deemed as offside, so it wouldn't have counted anyway.
He was offside. He was.
Fair enough then. Obviously, I was at the game itself, so all I saw was one angle of it just live. Obviously, from the away end, it wasn't the best of angles.
He was about a yard or two offside, about the same distance that Rodon was offside.
Yeah, okay, fair enough.
How many times did we slip over? Like, what were they wearing? Like, everybody.
Oh, 9. Yeah.
Every time.
Ballerina shoes, maybe?
I know. There was about 4 points. I went like, "Oh, 9, change your fucking boots, man!" Like, and that's why I texted in the group going, "He needs to go off because anyone who runs at him, he's falling over." And then he actually had a great game overall, but I don't know what the thing was, but everyone was just slipping over.
Well, he got a yellow card, didn't he, for the stupid? I still don't agree with that.
I think he was trying to bring it to the ref's attention. Like, ref, there's a second ball on the pitch. Like, what are you doing?
The ball was already on the pitch. It came to his feet in the middle of a game. He hoofed it to get it away, and it just didn't go far. You can't blame any player for that. If anything, the ref's at fault because he should have stopped the game. The linesman should have seen it. He should have stopped the game. The officials should have stopped the game. So, but once he got a yellow card, I was surprised he didn't come off, put Hume back where he lives instead of playing in midfield like an idiot, put him back to right back, and then you could have brought like Xhaka on.
Well, I was expecting when Xhaka came on, I thought 9 would have come off, Gertrude would have went to right back, and that's the thought the change they would have made. But the left, I mean, were they both on? Was Gertrude booked as well? They were both on yellow cards, weren't they? So
they got yellow. No,
Gertrude didn't get a yellow. It was Diarra and 09.
I thought they got one of the
got one for the second free kick, and then they booked 09 at the same time. Is what I thought happened.
Well, it's not on the official record at the moment.
Oh well,
I'm looking at it here.
It looked like it on the. It looked like it on the telly. I thought that he got booked, but maybe it was
Alderete, Diarra, 09 is the ones I'm seeing here, unless this is wrong.
Yeah, no, you're right. Yeah, so on the telly, it made it look like Gertrude got the yellow, but he must have been at the moment giving it to 09 for the ball incident that had just happened. But because Gertrude gave the foul away, and they filmed him, you sort of got, it must be for him then.
Yeah, it's worse for me because when I'm doing the commentary, I have no audio. So I've just got to guess like what's going on.
To be honest, mate, the amount of Leeds bias and the bloody commentary and the punditry afterwards, you'll be so glad you didn't have any audio.
Even at half time, I thought I'd have a quick listen and I was fuming. I turned it back down.
It's the most like
Conrad, you should have done. Literally put Mike's commentary over the game itself.
I did try, but there was a pub quiz going on, and I thought I can't go and stick my phone on the end of the microphone and go, "Shut up, everyone!" I need to just get the audio in line with what's happening on the TVs all around the pub.
Perfectly. Yeah. But yeah, I mean, I think the other thing I'm actually going to credit Labrice for this, and I think it's always something that's annoyed me about him is sometimes being reactive with changes and whatnot. But in this game, to be fair, he actually was proactive. I like the fact that he actually brought. I thought if we're level when Xhaka comes on, we have a chance of winning the game or at least getting something out of it. And I was quite impressed that what was it by the hour mark? Nothing else. Xhaka, Isidore, bang, both on. And I felt like, I mean, I didn't think Isidore was that good, if I'm honest, when he came on. But I feel like
I didn't think Mayenda was that good either. Neither of them really contributed. But I feel
like he had a good turn snapshot. It's a shame he was offside. He pissed me off because he was offside 3 or 4 times then.
Isidore got the assist for the penalty on FPL because he caused the handball.
Did he?
All right,
yeah, because he took the shot that then bounced up and thingy went, ugh.
That's an assist these days.
To be fair,
if you win a penalty, you get the assist normally. So
I suppose he did contribute at the moment to win the game, then didn't he? But I feel like I felt like Mayenda was still, at least when he was forward, was trying to put himself about a bit more. Whereas I felt like Isidore
I
really
agree
wasn't
with
it.
that.
And I don't know with Isidore whether it's his head's not in it for whatever reason, or there must be something going on behind the scenes. Obviously, his partner's just had a kid a few months ago, hasn't she? So, and they're still overseas. So I can't imagine that would be easy for him. So I think there might be something within that. I don't know. But the point was that I think our subs made a massive difference in general. Or I would rephrase that: the sub of Granit Xhaka, which I think.
Yeah.
You could tell, I think, and apparently from what Leeds fans have said, Conor McGilligan said this. I don't know whether Wayne, a Leeds fan you speak with regularly, says this, but apparently Daniel Farke's quite predictable with changes that he makes and is quite one-dimensional and doesn't have an alternate plan to try and combat what an opposition's doing. So I think Lebris did have that over him, and that's probably what made the difference in the end.
Yeah, basically, Farke's tactics are go a goal down, put 4 forwards on. And that's his tactics, which is exactly what he did. Exactly what he did last night. I think there about 6 forwards on the pitch at the end of the game.
And the pundit said we didn't have a bench. We had nobody on the bench apart from Xhaka. I'm like, hello, Traore, Rig. I'll rate all of them above all of these.
Rig, Isidore, who else? Oh, someone else on it.
I know we were just saying about Isidore, but he is our second top goal scorer this season.
Yeah, well, that's true.
I mean, so the first half we've discussed. I'll tell you, we've not mentioned. We've all mentioned we thought we were going to lose because of the team, but also we were in the black kit.
And
yeah,
the black kit, so we were destined to lose.
To be fair, we were.
Ridiculous.
We were shocking. We were shocking first half. Our ball retention yet again was terrible. And like I say, but Leeds didn't. Apart from the free kicks, I think Stack had a shot, didn't he, just before half time. Apart from that. That's how bad they were. They never created any kind of chance of note, and we were absolutely shocking. We were honking.
First 30 minutes felt like 30 hours, Wayne. Honestly, I was ready for doing a crossword on the live commentary.
It's horrendous, absolutely awful to watch. But that was partly down to the referee as well.
Time for them to score.
But like we said, the referee stopping the game every 2 minutes stops the game from flowing, which doesn't help, of course. But our ball retention was absolutely horrible. We just couldn't keep out of the ball.
That's something we really, really do need to get better at. I don't mind the idea of players being confident and in their own ability, but I just think maybe it's naivety. Maybe that's the best way to put it.
Well, I couldn't work out if it was we couldn't get the ball to the front three, or if it wasn't sticking to the front three, as in they weren't doing enough to sort of like keep hold of it, bring us into play and try and do it. I couldn't work out in this game. And normally I'm very like, we haven't got it to Brobby. It's their fault. And I'm a bit like, actually, are we actually trying to play to their strengths, or are we just going, come back to goal on the halfway line, do something?
What I think we did well in the second half more than anything is that front three that they constantly did pressure, which I like. When they force mistakes, that's when we usually have opportunities. And a lot of the time we see that for like 20 minutes in the first half, and then we don't see it for the rest of the game. But consistently, Angulo, Diarra, all of them were chomping at the bit, trying to force a mistake or get something from Leeds, which I did enjoy to see.
If you notice in the second half, though, I think we pushed up the pitch 5-10 yards, which massively helped. You know, we were sitting massively deep in the first half. Once he got us up the pitch a little bit, it helped us get out more.
That's the thing, because it's not even just with Xhaka, it's not just his leadership abilities or the organisation he brings or the experience he brings. It's also his forward passing as well. And even when he doesn't make defence split and pass, if you look at the pass he made in the game, well, who was it? It was against Palace for our first goal. Like the instrumental pass he makes, the vision to see Mukiele's run for Lafayette score. But even then, Xhaka sometimes does those little connected passes where, say, he could get the ball, quickly get a pass to someone else, which creates an opening. It's that forward vision that he brings. Yeah, probably. Fair point. But like, I think Xhaka's influence was massive when he came on, and I felt like, and actually when he came on, I thought we could nick this here. We could absolutely nick this. I actually want to quickly mention Ngulu actually, because last night I thought his engine and what was it? It was like a machine the way he just kept going. But I thought he was good against Bournemouth as well. I thought when he came on against Bournemouth, I thought he made him. Obviously, it didn't make a difference in the end because we didn't win, but I felt like he looked really dangerous and really, really threatening. But I think the rest of the season's really good for Ngulu because he's still adapting to the physicality and the quality of the Premier League. And the good position we're in now is that we're on 40 points now. Actually, funny enough, here's my quick question, actually, which is quite funny, and it's a funny one. I kept thinking of Wayne when I looked at the table and went, "We're not safe yet. We're not safe yet." So I'll just go, "Effing grow, Wayne. We're safe now."
That's it.
Yeah.
Job done
No,
now. Job done.
Yeah, well, to be fair, if you look at the results tonight, Forest got a point and Man City and West Ham beat Fulham, so it's probably a good thing we got the 4 points we did. But
Can we just say, Wolves might come in again, Wolves. the form they're in.
how many points?
They have to win
how many
almost
points are
every
they on now?
game.
They're still like 12 points
16,
adrift, aren't they?
3 points behind Burnley now, aren't they?
My prediction would be I still think Burnley finish bottom. I think Wolves finish ahead of them. But I do feel like N'Gulu, the good thing now is, even if, look, let's say the rest of the season we maybe battle for top half or finish upper bottom half of the league or whatever, N'Gulu, it's not a free hit's not the right word, but there's no pressure now for me between now and the end of the season, or nowhere near as much pressure as there could be. And this is a perfect opportunity for N'Gulu to get accustomed to the Premier League. And I wouldn't be surprised if he has a good solid run of games now between now and the end of the season. And then you have a pre-season in the summer, and then you're ready for next season. Hello, Emma.
Yeah, Emma.
Hopefully you enjoy it when you watch back. But yeah, so I don't know what you think. I don't know what you guys thought, but I thought N'Gulu maybe not quite as good last night, but at Bournemouth in particular, I was actually quite impressed with him.
You start, Mike.
Go on, Mike.
He wants me to start because he's got a counter argument to everything. Because I said yesterday on our chats, Angulo was my man of the match, right? And I know everyone's like, "Nine did get the man of the match. He was really good. Can't fault him, apart from potentially giving them a penalty. VAR does that, and suddenly he's not the man of the match anymore." Angulo never gave up through that game, and that's what I want to see from a player. He reminds me of the first few games that I saw Mundle. Now, I know Mundle, he came good in the Championship, but he's not quite made it the Premier League. But Angulo looks like what I saw when I first saw Mundle. When I look at him, look at Tabby, I look at some of the other players and that, and the potential I see on him is above all of the others. And I said he was my man of the match, which Conrad seriously did not agree with. So I did go through and get a few things myself.
I wouldn't go as far as man of the match, but I do think he was good.
The ratings here put him above Xhaka, who got 6.5, Siddiqui got 6.4, and Angulo got 7.0. The Sunderland Echo rating said put a massive shift in for his team, constantly got back to defend 09 and had some bright moments going forward. Just couldn't find the final ball on one or two occasions. Hard to criticize given the physical output. Has all the attributes. And I had one more. Have you deleted one?
No, it's there. It is.
It's there. There we go. Roker report 8 out of 10 for Angulo. He was positive on the ball all night, looking dangerous whenever he had it, but putting great effort defensively to help out 09, which I think is brilliant. Constantly tracking back and using his pace to nullify Goodmanson.
That's no mean feat, by the way, because Goodmanson's actually a really good player. I really do rate him.
I mean, how rapid does Angulo look? If we could get Xhaka putting them on the floor through balls through, he's meep Isidore job like Hull. That's what it'll be.
To be fair though, I did think he linked up quite well with 09. There was even a couple of times when 09 was kind of bursting down the right wing and was able to try and make forward passes happen. But I think generally the two of them worked off well each other. Well, go on, Conrad. What did you think of Ngulu's?
That's my serve, Conrad. Go on. Let's see the rebuttal.
He was shit. No, he wasn't.
I'm gonna go get a drink.
No, he wasn't really. No, I thought he was played very well. I don't think Luke O'Nien gets the man of the match without his defensive display in front of him of Angulo helping out. I think he massively helped him out and covering when there were 2-on-1s and things like that there. It was the forward output was my thing, but that's the same for anyone across the forward line. We didn't really connect to it. I saw the ratings that you put in earlier on when I was uploading the memes and what have you. And I loved your one here where you obviously put that he got an 8 out of 10. The same website also picked Ballard, Hume with higher scores and Alderete and named Ballard as their man of the match when you put that one in there. And then the other one, when you named him 7 out of 10, actually put, where is it there? Luke O'Nien with an 8, Elborg with an 8. Is that the same one? On Fanalysis, accurate passes completed, 3.
In his
tackles, 3. That's good. I'm a fan of that there. It was And then also, when you rate all the players, as you know, Wayne, you get a big leaderboard. There's everyone, all Sunderland fans' ratings. Do you know how far down it was to get Angulo?
Go on.
He was 10th.
So in that game, right, honestly, looking at that, in that game, you see Enzo Lafie better than Angulo in that game.
No. Don't.
Exactly. So them ratings are a load of shite.
Yeah. I just was a bit like, I was like, man of the match, really? That's more what I was like. I was like, oh, that's interesting. Like, that was it. Because for me, it was big Omar Alderete with 18 duels won, 18 headers won, most clearances. That block about 80 minutes when they had a free shot from about 12 yards, that really sort of was like that we were in trouble at that point.
Yeah, he still did his classic Alderete moment where I'm going to try and take on this player and lose it in the worst possible position.
Exactly.
I will see
he did.
Second half, I thought he was excellent.
The last
Ballard as well was fantastic.
Yeah, I think with Angulo,
it has to be one of the defenders for me. I just thought, just
going
because
forward,
of the way we played, that was mainly it. But Angulo would be straight in after the defenders because he was almost acting like one of the defenders.
Right. Can we talk about one of the other unknowns on here with Elborg? Because at first, when he was first starting, he did a very sketchy distribution through the middle, which went straight to Leeds.
It was really heavy, and then he just fired it straight to him. I was like, oh no.
Yeah, and then on the first couple of set pieces, he didn't come out when he should have. He was really back on his line when Roos would have come out and claim it. So that started to make me nervous. But then the save from the free kick, right down his bottom right post, that kind of gave me a bit more confidence. What do we think of him? I mean, to have him as a reserve keeper looks brilliant to me.
He's only young and he hasn't played much first-time football himself, but he's that, like Conrad said, they've done the research on him, they've done the data on him, and he got a similar profile as Roofs, and he grew into the game, didn't he? The more the game went on, I think there was one where there was it a point blank header from the corner, and he kept hold of it. That was a cracking take because it was right in front of him. He just stopped it. So that could have bounced and went anywhere, and he just grew into the game, and I thought he was really good.
There's a statement for you.
I'd agree.
After about 10-15 minutes, it didn't feel like we were missing our number one keeper. It's probably the best way we could say it. And that's probably helped by the rest of the defence just being able to trust where he was and know where he was. Because like you say, you put Patterson or Moore in there, they're not in those same positions where we use our goalkeeper to help us get out of situations. And then second half, when he was just claiming stuff left, right and centre and just gathering it in, it was like, brilliant. So then if the worst comes to it and Roofs does end up going in the summer to continue the project and, the buy someone for cheap, sell them for multi-millions more, we've got another one lined up straight to come in.
Ready-made, yeah.
Didn't I say 1-0 for the Leeds game? Sure I got that right.
No.
Conrad's the one to probably track it. I think quickly on the...
Actually, to be honest, I can't remember. You might have done. I'll have to go back and check. I checked everyone else and no one said 1-0 on our comments, but
I definitely didn't get you the score right. I know that much. I think I was going to say on the thing with Angulo, I just want to quickly mention the Angulo thing. I think the reason I think I would probably give him a bit of slack in terms of the offensive output is because I felt like as a team in the first half, we were set to contain Leeds more than go at them a bit. Which I get because Ellen Road is actually quite a hard place to go. But I think it's only Man City and Arsenal have pretty much, and the visitors, that have beaten them since they changed the formation on Daniel Farker. So I think we have to kind of do that too. I mean, I'm sure we'll get onto their fans complaining about the dark arts and the tactics and the fanning around and time wasting and whatever. Which, to be fair, there probably was a fair bit of it actually. But in terms of Elborg, I think there was 1 or 2 sketchy moments early on in the game, but I think once he settled into it, I thought he did quite well. And I think we've got to remember, this is the guy that the recruitment team, Gazolfi or whoever, would have scouted as a eventual replacement for Robin Roofs. So they clearly see something in the guy in order to do it. And actually, let's go along. I'm not so sure whether we lose Roofs this summer, like some think we will. But let's say we do, then it's probably not a bad thing, this. It gives Elborg a bit of exposure so that it's the what's the right word? The factor of maybe playing in the Premier League isn't quite there next season. If Roofs isn't here. So
he'll play all cup games next season, but I don't think he'll play them this season unless Roofs out.
Well, I was going to say,
I mean, he's gonna have the next couple of games, right? He said 2 to 3 weeks or something.
Well, are they aiming to get Roofs back for the Newcastle game? Are they aiming to get Roofs back for the derby?
Right, okay, here's the question for you then, Michael. if he gets fit just in time for the derby, do you put in a just back from injury Roofs, or do you put an on-form Elborg in goal for the derby?
The best time
Depends
to
on the next two games.
The best time to ask me that is after we play Brighton to see how Elborg does against Brighton.
Okay. Well,
As of right now,
I'll put a pin
yes,
in that one then.
But if you want an answer right now,
But
yes, I'd still put Roofs in.
the best keeper we should put in is this one here. Just, the one who's now got a statue. There it is. That's the one.
Being non-biased here, if any one of their fans says Nick Pope should start ahead of Pickford for England, you are delusional, you are on crack, go home. No, I don't mind Nick Pope as a keeper. I don't think he's terrible. I don't think he's particularly good. I don't think he's particularly terrible. He is not in the same league as Pickford. End of.
No.
Not even close.
Well,
overall, though, just quickly thrown in there, that's what Leeds thought of the referee last night compared to our rating.
That's way too high from our fans.
Right. Well, that's the one we're going to go on to. I mean, because mixed opinions on the referee again. I thought it was shocking all the way through, and it wasn't major decisions. It was just every little decision and obvious stuff, stupid things like that. So, Wayne, give us your expert positive view on this referee.
Well, he said he was positively shite again. I'll say it again. He was he's rubbish, isn't he? He's wasn't he the referee who gave the Dirk Kuyt goal and all years ago? If that's him, innit? He's another one who we've got history with, but just brought the play up every opportunity he got, and it was just he just made it a joke of a game. He just made it for awful watching. But you're right, he was awful all the way through. He didn't get anything right, and the penalty. I'm pleased VAR checked it because it was a blatant penalty. His arm moves towards the ball, but other than that, he's just
even that. The ref went up to the screen afterwards. And he must have spent a good 5 minutes looking at it. And the first replay is all you needed.
I was half expecting for not to give it. I was half expecting him to say no. But
I know because you see it go down, and it's nothing to do with where it hits and starts to go down there. It's the secondary movement of pushing it away from Eastdor's feet. Yeah. So another referee. And can we talk about the added time? Somebody said 30 minutes of added time we've had in the last 3 games.
Yeah, well, it's 25. Hang on. Well, it's like 25 minutes added time in the last 2 games.
Why did we get 13 minutes? So can anyone figure where that came from?
Someone put one of the Leeds channels bear with me a minute, that there was 8 minutes just on VAR checks, which was, of course, the penalty to the penalty actually then being taken was the offside. Leeds had then done all their substitutions. We'd done near enough all of our substitutions. Alderete had been down once. And then there was I'm sure there was, basically it was just basic things. And then there was one where they put, here it is, on average, Sunderland's goalkeeper spent 4 minutes taking 6 goal kicks. Sunderland spent 8 minutes taking 19 throw-ins, while Leeds spent 4 minutes taking 22 throw-ins.
Wow.
The ball was only in play last night for 50 minutes in total during 114 minutes.
So shit.
You know what, though? All those stats, all those numbers, the one that doesn't matter is you ain't got fucking 3 points. Have that, you bastards.
Do you know what, generally, though, I couldn't believe them. I thought about 7 or 8 minutes, I thought might have been fair enough. When I saw 12, I was genuinely stunned. And let's not forget, half the time the ball wasn't in play because Twatwell kept on blowing,
stopping the game.
Sorry,
stopping the game.
He stopped the game to give Leeds free kicks. So, that's half of where it comes from. It's like Mike said before, it wasn't any. The major decision I will admit he got wrong is Leeds should have had a penalty in the first half, and I don't know how they didn't. But after the weekend, I think you take it. So. But even then, it was every single time that they had any slight bit of contact, they went down, and he gave him a free kick, and nearly 9 times out of 10 he bought it. Even the offside.
If there's any compensation for Leeds fans watching, don't worry. If you'd got the penalty, Elborg would have saved it.
unlike Darlow.
Oh my God, I'd be devastated if that was my keeper.
Who thought
I was
that
ready
penalty
to
was
go.
saved? Who
Me.
thought that penalty was saved in the first
Half the fucking
second?
stadium thought it was saved. They all cheered.
Yeah.
But that's it. Well, that was the thing. Yeah. Well, it's just bizarre though. Like even the goal that was that Rodon scored that was disallowed, that came from a dodgy free kick being given away in the first place. So for me, it's a bit of justice, really. But for me, I think it was quite funny though, really, because I think there was only minutes between the offside goal and the penalty, wasn't there? So it just goes to show. But for me, the ref was terrible. And he wasn't good for either team, really. I think Leeds do have a fair few instances to feel aggrieved, particularly with the penalty. But again, it just comes back to...
Was that the offside?
Well, now that's the first I've seen of that. So, yeah, fair enough. That's definitely... that is definitely offside. But, yeah, I mean, it was... My heart kind of sank when I saw it went in. But it took about a good minute for it to be disallowed.
He turned around and looked immediately. He was like this, and then sort of when no one gave anything, he sort of ran off. And even when he was celebrating, they were doing all the high fives. He went, "I'm not sure." Like
it's like he knew, like this is going to get disallowed.
I think he knew I'm offside here, but obviously just hadn't said anything at that moment.
Yeah, so I think, but look, I mean, ultimately, I think the good thing was we stayed in the game. We stayed on level terms. Jack obviously came on. Obviously, you have that bit of that goal for you. But what are you guys thinking of the penalty that we got?
The penalty was a penalty. Yeah, that was a Stonewall penalty.
I thought it was a shit penalty.
Yeah, what do I think about the penalty? I thought it was close to the Panenka disaster.
If he'd have saved it, I'd have been giving him the same treatment I gave Lefebvre for that fucking Panenka at Brentford. I know, what the fuck are you doing?
I want Xhaka to step up and take it, man. I want Xhaka to take the penalty.
He did that against Oxford, the same penalty, though, or pretty much, and obviously keeper dives the wrong way. I'm a bit like, I want to take you off penalties unless you can actually twat the bastard. Like, stop rolling it. You're not Michael Gray, 1998 or whenever it was. Fucking put your foot through it.
To be fair, though, I think we did get quite fortunate. That did go in. Like, it wasn't a good penalty, really, was it? But it does not matter because it won us the 3 points.
Exactly.
Well, anyway, so, I mean,
we Russia, 4 minutes without one to Russia. 4 minute warning.
4 minutes and we're halfway in.
He hasn't done a quiz. I could do it quickly now if you wanted. I've done a quiz instead.
Right, well, hang on. Before we do that, we will officially man of the match for that game, Conrad?
Alderete,
Wayne?
Yeah, I'll give it a 1-9 initially, but Alderete, I thought the last half an hour was immense, so I'd probably change and give it to Alderete.
Bowers?
0-9 for me. I think 0-9 was consistently better all throughout.
Yeah, it would be 0-9 for me if it wasn't for the potential penalty clothesline and classic shithousery.
But at the same time, though, I can't give it to Alderete because of that mistake in the first half that very nearly...
I agree. That's why Angulo's got it for me, because he's an absolute
I'll give it to Nordy.
I give it to Robbie.
He's psychologically defending from the stands. Right.
Yeah, exactly.
Go on, then. Let's do a quiz, because
it's only
Wayne's bedtime's
it's only
looming.
A very, very quick fire one, but just because, obviously, we're a newly promoted team this season, I'm just going to ask you the last 4 times that we were a newly promoted team, certain questions, just sort of, based on that. I threw this together with 10 minutes left to go when Wayne told me that there was no quiz, right? Okay, so some of them are going to be older. So Mike, you'll be there. Wayne, you'll be there. So Bowers, you can wait to the more recent one, okay?
Yeah, that's fine.
So 96, 97, when we were back in the Premier League, who was our top scorer that season?
Phillips.
When we were back in the Premier League.
96, 97.
Ooh.
I will say we did get relegated this season.
It'd be somebody with 3 goals. Was it like very low, one of 3 or 4 goals or something?
4 goals, yep, you're correct.
There's so you're talking about the season after we went up, not the season.
No. This is the season we got promoted under.
Okay.
Well, the season we were in the Premier League the first time and we went down, and then we got the Charlton the season after in the playoffs. There's 2, so if you get one of them, I'll let you have it.
Letalic?
This is 1996.
What was Letalic?
Letalic was probably a sperm.
He was a good sperm.
Yeah.
96.
What? Someone in the chat has
Russell,
got it a few times.
Craig Russell, is it?
Craig Russell with 4, as well as I think someone else in the chat had it there. Paul Stewart joint with 4. So that one is so because we're having a good run in the FA Cup this year. What in that same season? What round did we exit the FA Cup?
In the 95-96 season.
In the 96-97 season, yeah.
4th.
3rd,
yeah. It was a replay. Round 3, we lost to Arsenal, drew 1-1 and then lost 2-0. So in a similar vein, the year you're thinking of now, 99-2000, when we were back as a promoted Premier League team, who was our top goal scorer?
Phillips.
Yes. With how many?
30.
Oh, yeah. Golden boot.
30. That's right there. What position did we finish in the league?
7th.
That's right. What round did we get to in the FA Cup? You can see where I'm going with this.
4th.
Hey, very good. Who did we get knocked out by?
Oh.
They're probably a League 2 team or League 1 team now. We've beaten them in a final recently. In the last
Tranmere.
5-10 years or so. Yeah, Tranmere. That's who we lost to at that point. So I won't do League Cup because we went out in the first round here. So next time we were promoted, Wayne, this is all you, this one with your answer earlier on. 05-06. Who was our joint top goal scorer in 05-06? Just to let you know, there is 5 names, all with 3. One of them you can't have because it's own goal. Yeah, Letalic is one. Yeah. Anyone else? Own goal is also joint with 3 goals.
Was it? I'm sure this is one of my questions of the week. Was it Liam Miller? Was he one?
No. Liam is the first name correct of 1, but not Miller. We didn't sign him at that point.
Lawrence.
Yes, Liam Lawrence with 3. The other ones you could have had were Tommy Miller and Dean Whitehead, and own goal. Had a proud own goal.
Whitehead.
Yeah. What round did we get to in the FA Cup that year?
Oh.
What was that?
4th round.
4th round, yes. Who did we lose
round.
to? They are now an established Premier League side, but they were not at the time.
Bournemouth.
Oh, it was.
You're so close with Bournemouth, and not in terms of geographical location, but letters.
Brighton.
Brentford.
No, the other one. There you go, Brentford. DJ Campbell with two goals against us, if you remember. He absolutely murdered Gary Breen.
Campbell,
And then the last time we got promoted, 2007, 2008, who was our top goal scorer?
Defoe.
2007,
2008.
Roy Keane was there at the time.
Well, that's about 7 years ago.
Yeah.
It doesn't feel that long, does it?
Kenwyne Jones wasn't there that season, was he? Was that a year before?
He was.
Year after?
CC there as well.
That was the year after.
It was the year after.
2008-9. Well, I'll guess Kenwyne Jones was probably wrong.
It was Kenwyne Jones, yes.
Yes,
How many?
Nice. Okay.
How many do you think he got?
Was it double figures?
It was not double figures.
So 9. I don't know.
No.
It's going to go for the highest that's not double figures.
Fine. 8. Squeaky count.
No.
5.
Higher.
5, 7.
6.
Yeah, there we go. How many lives do you want here? And how far did we get in the FA Cup that season?
Oh, Lord.
3rd round.
It was. And who beat us? They were also a Premier League team, I think, at the time. Yes.
So they were, but they're not now.
They're not now, definitely not. It was a team that was managed by a future Sunderland manager at that time.
Bolton.
No.
Wigan.
Similar area of the country. Yes, Wigan. Steve Bruce, of course, was in charge at that point there.
Biters.
And that is the shittest quiz in the world. I hope you all enjoyed it. Don't come back next week.
I mean, every time you say FA Cup, it's like 3rd or 4th. 3rd or 4th. It's how it's going to be 3rd.
There was a year or two we did get further than that, but yeah, it's just because then it's like, well, you look at it now, and we've been promoted. And our top scorer was on 5, Jones was on 7, but we're one round away from the quarterfinals of the FA Cup at this point here.
Well, I'll ask one from Mike and Wayne then, since I know that Conrad will know this straight away. Before this season, when was the last time Sunderland got past the FA Cup third round?
Oh yeah, I do know.
Conrad don't know. That's why I'm excluding him, because he'll get it straight away.
Well, it's got to be a while ago because we're shite in the League One days. 2015.
Nope.
More recent.
It's much more recent than that.
2018.
Much
more recent. 1 year. Nope.
2018, 2019.
If I say Chris
It's not
Rigg,
in the League
15
One
years
days.
old,
It's not in the League One days.
Fulham season 1. It was we played Fulham, didn't we? I got beaten in the
2022 then.
What season was it?
yeah,
2022.
122.
Close
Wasn't
enough.
it?
22-23.
That was it. Yeah.
That was the one when, do you remember it was Craig's had the sports bar in Sunderland near where Street Bar is, basically, or where next to where Rio's is now. Want to try that actually at some point. It does look like quite nice. But to be fair though, when I was in there for the Fulham game away from home, that was when Riggs scored, and me and my mates went absolutely apeshit. And then we realised, oh shit, VAR's in this game. And then it turned out we absolutely made ourselves look like tits, because it ended up being it was right in the end, because Ahmad I think was offside in the build up, but yeah.
I have memory blacks of like we were 7th with Peter Reid and Kevin Phillips, then memory black, and then all of a sudden we're up there with Defoe and Cisse, and then memory black, and now we're in Premier League again.
Well, we that was the one we beat Shrewsbury in round 3, and we only just beat Shrewsbury in round 3.
Well, twice
like
in
2
stoppage
last
time,
minute
didn't
goals. We did, and then we got Fulham, and that was the one where it was pretty much the last game we ever saw Ross Stewart. For us, because he did his Achilles at Craven Cottage, and then obviously they won 3-2 at our place.
But this time we're through to the 5th round, and we know our opponent.
And there's VAR in use at.
Is
VAR in use at?
there a VAR in use at Port Vale?
They've said they're going to use VAR at Port Vale.
There's VAR in this game.
At Port Vale?
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's just some kid sat at the side with a webcam, right? That's what it's going to be.
All right. Yeah, might as well be. Well, Mike, what do you think then? Are you happy we've got Port Vale over Bristol City?
I mean, I think it was 6 and 2 threes. I think we should be putting either of them to bed. Port Vale got a 1-0 win. It wasn't much in that game anyway, either way. As long as we don't do anything silly, like all of a sudden we're going to take it for granted and play a load of kids, we should walk this. This should be an absolute cakewalk as far as I'm concerned. It's at their place. You've got to give the away thing, but and the curse of the black kit no longer exists.
Yeah, we were never going to wear a black kit against Port Vale, though, were we?
Get your score predictions in for this one in the chat, by the way. Conrad, how do you see us lining up for this one then? Are we going to go for it? Full strength team?
Can I just say, bear in mind before Conrad does talk, Human Siddiqui is suspended for this. Just in case anyone forgot.
Right, okay.
They are indeed. So
Hume, not too forced Siddiqui. Okay.
That will throw a spanner or two in the works at in terms of the back line. I anticipate, are we going to try and push Luke O'Neill left back? Because he has played there a few times in League One. You're not going to move Alderete out of there. You're not going to move Ballard, and Gatreda then is your only other fit defender, really, unless you're going to throw in, is it Jensen Jones? Does he play left back as well? But I don't think you're going to do that. Ideally, Sirkin comes back in if he's fit, but we haven't heard anything. I think you see the likes of the people who didn't come on, so your Talbys. I think your Rigg gets a bit more time as well. But
we play 2 up front because it's Port Vale.
No, they won't do that. I think Mayenda will stay on because I think Isidore at Oxford looked like he couldn't be asked. So I think Mayenda will retain his place. I would still like to see Angulo start and just go on, just keep going. Like, try and get a bit more forward this time. Obviously, it's different, kettle of fish to Leeds United away. But, I think we'll do that. Elborg will play, of course. They're not going to put in Simon Moore. They played Roos in every other round so far. They're going to still put their number 1 keeper at the moment. So I think we're going to go pretty strong. really, because they were talking about 40 points and what the next target is. The next target should be winning the FA Cup. Like,
That's
why
not right,
not?
Conrad. Remember, Reggie said next target's 43 points.
Well, yeah, but this you can't get
Yeah.
43 points from this game, so
Yeah. Well, okay. We'll just lose to Brighton and then beat the visitors. It's fine.
yeah.
Black and white bastards have
I'll take that.
just fucking scored.
They've not, have they?
They have, aye.
Anyway,
Still a point behind.
anyway,
I'm going to have to drop off now because I've got a really, really early start in the morning. So,
give us your
Yeah.
score prediction, Wayne, before you drop off.
2-0 to us. I think it'll be a professional performance.
8-0.
And then do your job, and we'll get the job done on what will be a shit pitch, but I think we'll do the biz. 2-0.
Excellent. Cheers, Wayne. Appreciate you joining.
I'm going to leave this.
Cheers, Wayne.
I'll leave it open, but
Yep.
I'll
Yeah.
just be dropping it. Right. Take it easy,
No
all.
worries.
Good night. Thank you very much.
See you
See
in a
ya.
bit.
See you in a
Bye,
bit.
bye.
See you in a bit, Wayne.
Michael Bowers, how do we set up for this one?
That Newcastle score ruined my mood. Cheers, Man U. You had one job against 10 men, but never mind. How do you like? Well, I mean, if you're asking for like, it's got to be probably Elborg, back four of Gertrude, Ballard, Alderete, 09, I'd probably say. The midfield's an interesting one because I don't think we start Xhaka. I mean, against League One opposition, and obviously, I mean, they are in decent form, apparently, to be fair. They have improved form-wise, but they're still rooted at the bottom of League One, I believe. So,
They are indeed.
yeah, I think, who do you put in midfield? It'll probably have to be Diarra, Rig, Lafay, maybe? That's the combination I could think of.
Is
And
Xhaka
then
not in your midfield in this?
Sorry?
No Xhaka then.
But I don't think we start him.
I think he's had 2 non-starts or 2 rests per game.
He didn't start on Tuesday, did he? All right, screw it then. If it was up to me, I would put Xhaka. I would say Xhaka with Diarra and Lafay.
I think Xhaka has to start because Sadiqi's not there. That's the only thing I would say.
So what would you say? So we have like Xhaka and Diarra. Okay, how about Xhaka, Diarra, and Rig, and you have Lafay out wide on one of the wing positions, and then you can have Talbi or Ngulu on the other side, and then obviously take your pick between Isidore Mayenda up front.
I think you probably see Enzo and Angulo on the wings.
I'd give Lafay a rest in this one.
Oh no, Enzo
I would have Talbi on the left and Angulo on the right.
Talbi left, Ngulu. Okay. Well, what would you go on? What would you go with?
Do we see Alexic playing?
Not quite.
No.
I mean, it's not cup tied.
If this was the third round against Port Vale, maybe. But now we're starting to get up there. They can't take risks like that.
No, you're right. With Sadiqi probably not playing, it's going to be Xhaka, Enzo probably in the middle with him, and then Diarra still forward. I think you then see Talbi and Angulo in some sort of combination on the wings. Mayenda or Isidore. There is a shout for Isidore to come in, not because I think he deserves it in any way, but only just because Mayenda started the last 2. And they'll want to sort of switch it up a bit there, and then like we said, the back four's the interesting one on how they pick that because we really don't have a left back out of all this. So I really wouldn't be surprised we see 09 out there because he's left-footed and he's played there a couple of times.
I don't mind that. I don't mind that with the way he's been. I really don't mind. Do we know what's the situation with Nordi and Reynildo? Have we got time frames on that?
I think they said 2 to 4 weeks about a week ago. So I think they're probably not wanting to throw them into this or probably Brighton because of what game's coming after. Right. I wouldn't mind betting if one of them was maybe on the bench, even with Robbie and Mukiele on the bench for Brighton, but I don't think they'd push them for the Brighton game knowing what game comes next.
Yeah. I'm just sad we can't start Pavard and not talk about the legend leaving the club. Yeah.
I know.
School
shoes.
Yeah. I've started a few of the score predictions. If you want to get your score predictions in now, and we'll try and read them out before we go. Conrad, what's your score prediction?
I think 2-0 as well. I don't think we're going to blitz them away or anything like that. I think they're going to put up a fight thinking, let's go for it. And we'll just sort of do our defensive contain and nick 1 or 2. So I'm going to say, similar to Wayne, we'll go 2-0. I'd love us to absolutely just trash them apart, just to prove that we can do it. But I think we're a bit too conservative to just suddenly be like, right, that's it, League One side, let's fucking go for it. So I think it's just a case of we'll just do what we do, 2-0.
Michael Bowers?
Yeah, I'll probably go 2-0 as well. I think it'll be a game where Port Vale will frustrate us probably for... Well, what? You think it's going to be like 5-0 or something, probably, don't you? No. I think it'll be a game where Port Vale will frustrate us and put up a big fight. It wouldn't surprise me if it's 0-0 going in like 67, 68 minutes, something like that, and then our quality just shows through in the end. I think as long as we're professional, as long as we don't take it for granted that we think we're going to ease it and go through, which I'd like to hope we won't, then I think we will get through. For me, the main thing for me is getting through this without getting injuries. Get through, win the game, get through the game without any injuries, and get to the next round. That's all I'm concerned about.
2-0 up by halftime, come out in the second half, and everyone wants to have a bash, and we finish this one 5-0.
Okay, we'll see. Hopefully.
That's what's
really
going to happen.
excited about that.
Can I just say, to be fair, though, if Xhaka does start, I want that to happen, because then later on in the game, you can take Xhaka off and make sure you can help his recovery a bit better.
Can you carry on starring them, Conrad? And I will read through everybody else's ones that we've got so far. And Mike, did you ever go to Rock Park? That was starred. Yes, I did. Jimmy Paddy has gone for a 2-0. Johnny Cool's got the faith like me. He's gone for a 4-0 win. Steve Hensel's gone 2-1 to Sunderland. Paul Armstrong's gone 3-1. Wolsey, man after my own heart, has gone for a 5-0 to Sunderland. 3-0 to the lads has gone Leslie Leckenby. 2-0 has gone Miles Percival. I'm going to assume it's for Sunderland, even though he's got it the other way around. Miles of Sunderland has gone for 3-0 to Sunderland, and Jenny Armstrong has gone for 3-0. No losses, no draws. Everyone's feeling confident in this one. Steve's gone for 4-0. There, Gwen Hartley's gone for 3-0 to us. Sean Tomo has gone for 2-0 to the lads. There we go. What were you showing there, Conrad?
Jimmy said, I put a picture in the Discord where Conrad is talking and Bowers is looking up like he's listening. And I was like, what? So I went and had a look, and that is exactly what it looks like. If I try and show it again.
That's brilliant. I love that.
So I'll have to do this one. I have to go.
Yes.
How's that going, mate?
Excellent. And don't forget, if you want to get your predictions in on our ladder, make sure you put them in on the preview video that I'm sure we'll get up at some point.
It's going to be hard
we
to
are
fucking
7 minutes
Port
into
Vale.
5 minutes of added time. Is it finished all at the Saudi Arabia Stadium?
Apparently there's 1 minute left of added time.
Well, okay. Yeah, so whichever channel you're watching on, don't forget to go and check out the others. Wayne, who was here, but he's gone to bed, but Only Fools and SAFC, Michael Bowers, 541, and Black Cats TV. Make sure you go and check all them out. Lots of content, lots of wonderful stuff. What's coming on your channel this week, Michael Bowers?
Probably a live stream reacting to the Port Vale game. Hopefully we get through, and and pretty much, I mean, maybe I might do random live streams just maybe reading people's questions, but yeah. Thanks for having us on again. It's been great as always.
Always a pleasure. Conrad, what are we doing?
Well, I just want to say thank you for having us on as well, Michael, because we're on your channel too. It's a joint collaboration.
Thanks,
we'll
Wayne, if you can hear us still.
Yeah, Wayne. Fuck you. Grow up.
Honestly, fucking grow up, Wayne. Needing to go to bed. You couldn't wait another 10
having
minutes.
a bedtime. Yes, I'm coming
Good
now.
boy.
Love. Yeah, sorry. Sorry, I threw myself off there. Yeah, there'll be a preview. Probably tomorrow or maybe Friday. I don't know. Actually, the game's Sunday.
Sunday, 1:30 kickoff.
Yeah, so it'll come out on Friday then, and then it'll be the usual reviews and what have you like that. There, a bit of discussion about it, and then is the game afterwards this Saturday against Brighton?
Yes.
Okay, right. I just couldn't remember if there was a game in the middle, but yeah, don't know why. They just seem to be all over the place at the moment. Oh, interestingly, just very quickly, 2 of the fixtures have changed for us going forward. So Spurs have changed, but Forest, it was on the weekend of the 25th and the 26th of April. So they've moved it to the Friday, the 24th at 8 p.m. But the game will not be happening then because we'll be in the fucking FA Cup semi-final at Wembley, lads, and that game will be postponed. So don't believe the bullshit about playing Forest on Friday night. We'll be down in London on it in Covent Garden and Trafalgar Square, ready to batter Arsenal.
Please,
and when we beat
great.
them, we're going to go through May 16th. We're going to batter Man City and win the trophy.
There we go. There's some predictions for
Yeah.
you. You'd say I'm the optimistic
Yeah.
one, Michael. There you go.
Yeah, I
We're
think
gonna win the
Conrad's trying to
fucking FA
do
Cup,
his
boys.
best to
Here we
take that
go.
title off you there.
Yeah.
Tell you what, imagine the scenes if we did that, even at any
I know.
point.
Imagine the scenes. Imagine the scenes. Yep. Hey, thank you
Imagine
for
the scenes
joining us.
When?
When.
Oh, please.
Thank you for joining us. Don't forget, every Wednesday, when there's not a game on a Wednesday, come and join us for Midweek Mackems on either of the channels. Make sure you've liked, subscribed, all that wonderful stuff. We'll have a live commentary for the Port Vale game on Black Cats TV.
With the correct date on the thumbnail.
With the correct date on the thumbnail and me mispronouncing every name under the sun. So it's always a good laugh.
There's the bricklayer up front for Port Vale. Who passes it to the substitute teacher on the wing.
Yes. I usually make nicknames up anyway. So
Yeah.
thanks very much for joining us, and we will see you all in another one soon. So just wave them out.
Midweek Mackems, we're back on the show. Talking Sunderland and everything you know. Conrad's got the numbers, proper stats machine.